Howdy.
Hello.
Are we live? I don't know. I have OBS up because YouTube's giving me scary warnings, so if anybody's in, can you alert me as to whether you can hear me or not? Certainly OBS says you should be able to hear me, but YouTube disagrees.
It's classic YouTube, isn't it, though? I mean, I've got the feed coming through on my laptop, so... Yep, confirmation that we can hear. We're all good.
Ooh. Maybe my YouTube is the issue. Because, oh no, cool. I've got the chat too. It's just a slight delay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, welcome. This is the first time that we've both had our own microphones, and the setup is quite different, as you probably notice. So,
Yeah.
if there are any issues, like, feel free to just say, because I can fiddle about. I have a little soundboard here, so I can adjust as needed.
Yeah. Also, if anyone's, like, too loud or too quiet, let us know, because we can fiddle about with that too.
Yeah.
So,
Yes, because we both have completely different speaking volumes.
we do.
Which I didn't realise until we had both mics, and I was like, good God, I have to turn you up. But then you go really loud.
I do. That's the problem, is that I speak quite softly, and then it's suddenly like, let's just yell.
It's the definition of 0 to 100.
Yeah.
Yeah. That seems about right. But I'll
Yeah.
probably give people a chance to get here. I might put out a quick community post so that people...
Yeah, because
No.
it looks like we've got just under 40 right now, so
Yeah.
that's all good, but I
Yeah.
feel like we could get more.
Yeah, and it also gives me the fear, like, that something's gone wrong, because YouTube's been kind of shitting the bed with me this week in terms of, like, not notifying people of uploads and whatnot, so, yeah, I will do a quick community post, and then we'll get into the actual content of today's stream.
Okay, well, I've just got your notification through on my phone that we're live.
Ruh-oh. That might be...
We might get more people in. But before we do that, I'm just gonna quickly get my, like, little step up.
Your step?
This,
You have a step?
for my laptop.
Oh. Wow, okay. This feels like some next level shit that you're just like dipping in and out of your webcam.
It's just who I am, isn't
I feel
it?
like you're here, you just want to show off your laptop, but to be fair, the angle you got at, we can't see the back, so...
I know, it's literally just because I'm noticing when I'm looking,
Mm-hmm.
when I look at my laptop, I was looking a little bit low,
Yeah.
so I didn't want it to feel like I was totally disengaged.
So, Senny and I are clearly not in the same room.
Obviously. We're
Like-
definitely not looking at each other in the eye right now.
Definitely not in the same room. But we decided, we've actually, if you haven't been keeping up with our general lives, which is fine, you don't need to, but we have recently moved into a house that we actually own, like we're homeowners
We're
now, which is
homeowners.
just like not a millennial thing to do these days.
Yeah.
Which is partially actually, thankfully, some of the support from YouTube has been really helpful for that. Yeah,
Would you like this
Give me
back?
the fortune cookie back, yeah, thank you. So we decided like to do a little bit of changing to the
the
setup. So
Which means that, not that you can see it very well, but I have a cinder poster here,
yeah,
just in case anyone ever doubts
yeah,
just how much I simp for her.
yeah,
I'm sad because I have like a bees art
yeah.
and
This
Marceline
is
and
the struggle.
bubblegum.
Do you know how many bits of art I had on the wall that you would never be able to see in the old setup? But we're
I
kind
know.
of getting there. But we decided that like obviously most of the time when we stream we were beside each other, but that's really hard to engage with each other because you're not facing each other.
Yeah, it was like really hard to like keep a conversation going because you're kind of like this. But obviously that's not a normal like angle to sit at, so it was just really uncomfortable. But now that we're sitting across from each other, it just feels a lot more comfortable.
Do you feel like you're on like Joe Rogan or something, like that I'm like interviewing you?
I feel like I'm on Zach Sangs.
Okay. Yeah, it's not gonna be that intense, I promise.
Oh,
Although,
Zach Sang is not
it's
intense.
kind of nice that I've taken you completely away from any of like the technology. It's all beside me, so like everything's safe. You can't spell tea on anything. You can't kick
True.
anything. You could do something to your microphone, but that's about it.
I actually feel like it's slipped a little bit more, but Maybe I'll just tighten it.
Yeah. No,
There we go.
I actually quite like the 2-camera setup. It's not exactly how we want it yet, because we realised we didn't have a tripod for one of the webcams.
Yeah, so one of
one's
them's
just
hanging
for dear life,
precariously.
which is my one, actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it will just be better going forward. What will be really good is if we do ever get to set off the confetti cannon, then you
Yeah.
can shoot it and you'll see it come through
Over.
onto the other side.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would probably fire it right up though, so that I would still get some confetti, and then you would get some confetti.
Yeah,
It's
that's
not that
absolutely
bad.
valid. 74 people here, now that we have the notification out.
Yeah.
Anyway, shall we jump into the content then? I feel like
Sure.
5 minutes is a good time for people to wrangle themselves over.
Yeah.
Yeah. The audio quality should be relatively good, actually, in comparison to how it's been. Cause
Yeah. Well, we both now have the same exact microphone
Yeah.
too, so
Yeah.
there shouldn't be any discrepancies between the actual audio quality. It's just,
upgrades.
yeah, it'll just be, someone will sound quieter probably.
I'll just turn you up max.
No, please.
So that everyone
fucking
can hear,
don't.
like, your breathing.
I really don't want people to hear me breathing.
I have all the power here to do so.
Did you just turn me up?
No.
Oh.
Turned myself up slightly,
Okay.
actually. Okie doke. Shall we... God, the audio sounds the same as last time.
That sucks.
That's
These are better microphones than
that's
the
a
last
waste
time.
of, like, £180, okay?
Yeah. Considering that our other microphone literally cost about, like, £30, and it's about 10 years old.
Yeah.
And these are absolutely brand spanking new.
Yeah.
They cost a lot of money.
Rip. I'm pretty sure it sounds better, but what can I say?
Here's hoping.
Hey, here's hoping. Hey.
I mean it.
I know you didn't mean it. Yeah, it was like a snowball mic. It's like the cheapest USB mic. These are both condenser mics.
Yeah, they're literally made for podcasts, so I would hope that they are better than the snowball.
Yeah. Anyway, shall we jump into the old rubies?
Yes.
Because I have some screen grabs.
This is fun because usually I do the screen grabs, so I know exactly what's coming up. I have no idea what you've screen grabbed. So.
Basically stuff from the teaser. So obviously spoilers if you haven't seen the teaser from RTX at home.
Yeah. If you don't care, then that's cool. Like, it's not like an episode, kind of spoiler warning.
Yeah. What I kind of liked with this though was that they could have, like, they kind of did a good job of showing what they needed to without giving anything away. Because obviously everything with Volume 9 is like, we know it's a completely different volume. We know it's going to be nothing like what we've seen before. So how do you build hype?
How do you
for
build
that
hype without giving everything away?
Exactly.
Because you don't want to show
Yeah.
all of your cards, and especially, like, it was different when we were coming up to, like, being an Atlas, because we'd seen Atlas a little bit before.
It's just really intense looking at each other.
Do you
so
think?
much.
I actually really enjoy it.
Oh, okay. Maybe I just find you intimidating. Or maybe it's Cinder behind you. Maybe Cinder. But yeah, sorry. Go
Yes.
on.
So, we already knew what Atlas looked like.
Mm.
So when we got the teaser for that volume,
Mm.
it wasn't like, oh, now you've given away everything about Atlas. Like, because we already kind of knew what we were kind of getting ourselves into.
Yeah.
Whereas this, we've never seen. We have no idea where it is. So we have no concept of what could potentially happen.
Yeah.
So how can you build hype for an unknown?
Yeah. But they actually kind of managed it pretty well.
Yeah.
With the teaser, which obviously quite cleverly decided to basically repeat what we saw, and then add a little bit more, but do it from a point of view.
Which I thought was a really good way to do it, actually, because it really showed the intensity and the speed at which everything happened. Like,
Yeah, we'll go through it because I've got like,
yeah,
the
but
actual screen grabs.
it really was, the whole Yang situation was a blink and you'll miss it.
Yeah,
situation.
I kind of liked that we got to feel like that because it did feel claustrophobic, and I remember watching the episodes, it just felt claustrophobic because there was the very, very tight walkways and like so many people, like it felt like that in the episode anyway, but then that just amped it up to like 20,
Yeah.
where per RWBY, like getting attacked from all angles.
Yeah, but then we also got to see reactions from people like Blake up close as
Yeah.
well, which
Yeah.
was like obviously we got to see it kind of close anyway, but to actually see it from a point of view, it kind of makes it scarier a little.
It definitely made it scarier.
My microphone is slipping so bad.
Slipping on what?
It just keeps, it's getting lower and lower. I'm sorry if it cracks. I'm just gonna try and...
That's true, actually. Like, the fact that they've been so secretive about the marketing is in itself a way of creating buzz, which, yeah, I kind of agree with, but you still have to give people, like, nuggets of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously they gave us stuff here, and then we know that they're planning to show more at the sort of end of July at another convention, which, again, someone pointed out, actually, which I wonder if that is a thing that might happen, is that they show it, all the teasers are going to be from, like, different characters' points of view.
Shit. I don't want to see Blake's point of view, man. You'll just see the tears.
You almost look like you could cry.
I could, about it. But, like, because if they did do it from Blake's point of view, then you would see everything getting so blurry.
Yeah.
Because she's crying.
Try not to cry thinking about it.
No.
Yeah, I love how you immediately were like, Blake, though.
Yeah, if everyone's POV, I'm like, Blake.
Yeah, hers would be bad. Weiss's would definitely be bad. Yang's obviously would be bad, but hers doesn't last as long.
Yeah, so I feel like, but then we might see more of the island. A little bit.
Give us Neo's point of view. Well, that would basically almost be what we got here. So we start the teaser with some spooky music, actually. I was like, what the heck is this music? Like, it sounded very sci-fi, but like sort of sci-fi horror. Yeah, which actually works really well.
It was kind of synthy.
Yeah, it was very synthy, which I actually really liked. I was wondering what the hell it was, and then it started, and I was like, actually, this matches perfectly, because it kind of makes your heart go quickly.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have Neo doing a run, which shows you like how little reaction time RWBY actually had, because she was basically almost at her immediately.
She was so close to her.
Yeah.
Like.
And then smooshes. Yang. And if you've seen it, obviously I'm not going to show the full clips because, you know, copyright. But
bitch, look how far away Blake is from her.
Oh yeah, actually, yeah.
The speed at which she ran,
well, as
from
many
there,
have pointed out, like it is the sapphic and gay way generally that they can go at least like 3 times the speed of a normal person.
Oh yeah, if I'm ever going somewhere and it says it's gonna take me 10 minutes to walk there, I'm like, okay, make it 5, and I will make it there in 5, unless someone slow walks in front of me, and I'm like, get out my way.
That is interesting. I didn't actually notice Blake in the shot, but yeah, she's way at the other side. But she sees, crucially, she was facing, like, the action.
Where it was, yeah.
So she saw what was going to happen, whereas RWBY had to turn to see, where she saw it kind of unfold, so she had at least a little bit more time to prepare.
Oh, yeah.
Herself, or whatever the hell was going to go down. But yeah, this totally showed just how quickly that Yang did go off. Like, we kind of knew it at the time, because it was just a sort of editing choice for drama.
Because it was slow-mo.
Yeah.
It was up for debate just how quick it could be. We all knew that it was fast.
Yeah.
But it was up for debate how fast.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that they showed us how fast.
Yeah, it was like maybe a second and a half before she was off the edge.
Yeah.
It was so quick. It was disgustingly quick, actually.
It's a disgrace how fast.
Yeah. Yeah, because by the time that Blake got to the platform edge, Yang was already, like, quite far down.
Yeah.
So, like...
That's why she threw Gamble, though, was to try and catch her, because she knew that she was already going to fall, but it was actually, like, sickening to see just how quickly she fell.
Move, I'm gay. I mean...
Honest to fuck.
It comes back, it almost comes back to that. Oh, there's 100 people in here. Nice.
Oh, nice. Hello, everybody.
You know, you gotta...
You know, you gotta have the POV of Neo's ass.
I mean, honestly, it's pretty well covered, to be fair.
Yeah.
Like, you can't see that much of it.
You can't see that ass.
You can look, but there's not much there.
Yeah, it's mostly her heel. I like that her heel is saving her modesty.
Yeah, it's true, her little boot.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like, don't look.
Mm-hmm. And,
yeah, we get this lovely point of view of Cinder, once again emphasising how much she would have rather the RWBY hadn't been born.
That's a good point, Dan. I hadn't even noticed that, but Dan
Mm.
pointed out the silver eyes effect. Like, there's a silver hue.
Yeah, the edge of
around
the
it.
frame. Yeah,
I
it's
hadn't
really
even
nice.
noticed that, but that's like a really nice choice.
Yeah.
What do you think I'm trying to see?
Alright. Yeah, and then we get cut to Blake getting thrown, which confirmed that the two didn't fall together.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
which
rough.
we kind of knew, because they started to sort of separate once Gamble Shroud got singed.
Yeah.
But this, like, completely showed that they did, like, get completely separated in the fall.
Well, yeah, because they were kind of going on an upward trajectory
Mhm.
at that point. So when Gamble got cut, it would have been all of Blake's weight that was on that. So as soon as that got cut, she would have started falling because she was carrying Ruby.
Yeah.
She would have went a little bit further
Mm.
to then fall.
Just sucks that now. I mean, I like it as from a story point of view, but obviously, like, it kind of confirms everyone's separate because everyone, like, those were the only two that probably could have actually ended up in the same place together. But now
Yeah.
that's like completely
Confirmed not together.
boshed.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I'm fine with it narratively. It'll be more entertaining, I think.
I know. I wonder how quickly they'll find each other, though. Like, I wonder how big this island is.
Well, that is a fair question.
Yeah.
Although I have theories based on some of the stuff we get from this. There are some semi-important details I think that it still gives you.
Yeah. Okay.
And then we get Ruby just following, like, the speed of the fall seems to slow once you go past whatever the veil at the bottom
Yeah, there's
is.
some sort of veil, and
Yeah.
then there's like a secondary veil almost
well, a
before
secondary
they like
zone.
yeah before
Uh,
they like fully fall through. But I
yeah.
liked this detail of her kind of like reaching out because at first I was like, what the fuck is going on here? Like
Yeah.
fire, and then obviously realized it was just like a light globule that was there. So
What if it's someone's, like, soul goop?
don't fucking say that.
I don't know. It always comes back to goop in this channel. So,
No, not that it was goop. That it's someone's soul.
soul goop.
But it does look like,
Soul goop.
yeah, like Soul Eater.
Yeah.
It does look like a soul.
Yeah. What if it is? It's like some kind of weird limbo or something,
I like that.
and it's just like.
Gotta say, I
okay.
particularly kind of hate that.
Yeah, Ruby's just like, oh, pretty light. Touches it and just, like, sees the memories of this, like, old woman. It's just like,
She's like,
Grandma.
Freya.
Freya. We both went for a woman. You
Just
named a
different ones.
woman. I decided not to name the OAP.
Decided not to name the OAP. As if it was so specific.
Yeah.
It's the only OAP that I could think of that died.
I love it. So I Tales, it would be the first goop of the year, but, like, RWBY, the second half aired in 2021. Like, I know that everything's kind of merged together, and now it kind of feels like a new year because it's like people are getting vaccinated and things have opened more. But it's still 2021, just in case anyone forgot that RWBY did air in 2021.
Dan said goop orb, a gorb.
Man, those globules are totes of gorbs.
Stop.
Oh, wow, it's good to see that this stream's just as analytical as ever.
I know. Oh, we always do it so good.
And then we got Neo literally, like, flies in and just sucker punches.
Oh yeah, I feel like, remember when Oscar came running around the corner of the hallway and punched Neo?
Yeah.
But that scene went on for a really long time,
Yeah.
and Eddie was like, that's not, like, maybe how it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
I feel like this is how it was supposed to be. It's like they turn
Yeah.
and just
Yeah.
socked.
Yeah. Yeah, like this. And also, just the sheer brutality. I mean, there's so much you could take from this particular scene, but the fact that, like, Neo, for all intents and purposes, like, she doesn't know where the fuck she's going, but I think the presumption would be, wherever I'm going, I'm dying, and you're probably dying too.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna give you the satisfaction of dying in, like, a semi-peaceful way or being, like, fucking brutalized by the ground the same as I am. I'm going to murder you
Yeah.
before you die the same way as me. I want the satisfaction of you dying first.
And you know what? I have a lot of respect for that.
Yeah.
Much as it's a very, like, psychotic motivation, like, that is dedication.
It's dedication to
Yeah.
the cause. You gotta give her that.
Because, like, yeah, she's gonna die, but Neo is like, yeah, by my hands with Max suffering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love
exactly.
that as, like, a character thing. It's great.
I need to kill this microphone.
Neo looks feral. I think that's fair to say that she is pretty feral.
Oh, she is a feral child.
Yeah, and then we get the beautiful scene of poor little Ruby being traumatized by people that she cares about that Neo has.
This is such a funny screenshot.
I know, it's the
Catch these hands!
yeah. I thought it was quite funny when I took it. Yeah, that she chooses Oscar, Yang, and Penny as like the max emotional touch points to make Ruby feel pain, which I thought was interesting.
I think that's really interesting
Yeah.
because I feel like that shows that Neo has really been paying attention because, I mean, it's obvious that Yang is gonna hurt her,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like,
sisters. Yeah.
your own sister attacking you, that's gonna hurt. But the fact that she then chose Oscar and Penny,
Yeah.
like Penny, you already knew how important she was to Ruby from Beacon. But to choose Oscar means that she has been watching recently.
Yeah, well, she was like shading up as a maid for a little bit, and God knows where else she's been spying, so
Yeah.
it's not that inconceivable.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sorry, yeah, we are streaming right now.
Sorry, Alistair.
Maybe we should put out more announcements. Maybe we stealth this too hard. Do you think that Neo will begrudgingly work with them on the island?
Maybe. And that's like a really, like, maybe.
I feel like it's become a harder maybe watching this.
Yeah.
I feel like something has to happen to Neo on the island first before that could even be a possibility.
Yeah.
Like, because she clearly doesn't care about living or dying at this point. So she needs
Well-
something to happen that means that she actually wants to live for some reason.
So, in my mind,
Okay.
there's a possibility that she will work with them because she lives when she gets to the island. But only because she lived. At this point, she thought she was dying. So she wanted to get the first kill in.
I don't know.
But it's a really potential maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I think this kind of kills the working with them begrudgingly theory until like something significant happens that changes the course of that direction. Yeah.
Neil originally had a voice actor?
Did she? Because she was a pretty rushed job.
Yeah, she was a real last minute addition.
Yeah.
I feel like she did not. I mean, I could be completely
Like,
wrong.
because isn't that the reason that she's mute? Is because it was so last minute, like, that it was literally days before
she
the
was
episode
like
aired.
added in.
Yeah.
Like they were finishing rendering it out like an hour before
Yeah.
it was being uploaded on the website.
Man.
As
The volume
far as
2
I
days
know.
are just crazy when you think about them sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
Right.
I hope that Neil makes it out this season. But obviously, because I absolutely adore her, I
Yeah.
have for the last 5 years.
Oh, Sarah Silverman. Actually, I do remember that being a thing that I read before about Neo.
Sarah Silverman?
Actress. Really? Okay. Well.
Names are garbage to me, though.
Yeah, you're clearly a Gen Zer. That's just she's too boomer for you.
No, it's just names. If someone showed me a picture, I would maybe know. But
You don't even know if like Neo being saved with someone, like someone's pointing out in the chat, Kaylin. I don't even know if that would be enough for her to change. Like, I don't think she sees that as like a
if
gift.
anything,
It's
that's
an
a
insult.
debt
Yeah.
that she does not want to have.
Yeah.
So
It has to be something else, like her understanding information in a different way, I think, possibly to do with Cinder, probably. Like, we know she was probably still wanting
Vanellope's
to...
voice actress. That's who is going to voice Neo?
Imagine she had the same squeak.
Oh my god.
Imagine how different this show would be.
She. I know that in Blaze Blue that Casey voiced Neo.
Yeah, for the little sounds.
Yeah, for the little sounds, because obviously you can't just have someone in a fight game just not making a noise.
Yeah, that would be quite
That would
weird.
be really, really weird.
Also, do you not... I kind of liked that the fact that Neo, when she illusioned Oscar, it was like... beating up Oscar, because that's the Oscar that she last saw,
Yeah.
because of the, time in the old whale cult. rip.
We love to see it.
Yeah, so that was like the Oscar that she like knew to change into, which I thought was quite a nice little touch.
Yeah, I liked that. Also, Pinchris, like, I understand what you're saying about, like, Blake might not, but if Blake finds Neo before she finds Yang, she might.
Depends. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know if maybe that kind of has like quelled slightly because now she knows that like wherever Yang went isn't death.
I know,
So
but
that
she
might
hit
take-
her head real bad, so she might not be good. when they
No, but
find
it
her.
probably tempers slightly the like from going from the you actually just killed her to the oh she might be alive somewhere. I think that probably is more tempered out now that she knows that wasn't just death.
I would say the mute people can gasp. Gasping is not anything to do with your vocal cords, it's your lungs. You can still... But that's not anything to do with your vocal cords, it's just to do with the direction of air
Lungage.
with your lungs. So I would say that mute people could still gasp. Mute people can also still... No. I was thinking of deaf people, because I'm stupid. Clearly.
And then obviously changes into Yang, and you finally the prophecy has been fulfilled. Neo turned into Yang.
Yep.
You wanted that for God.
I've
so long.
wanted that for at least 4 years because we discussed it as a faux show potential.
Yeah. Yeah.
4 years ago.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, not in the same circumstance, but you know, it's still satisfying, and it's so weird to see like Neo's like expression on Yang's model.
Yeah, it's really weird, and
Yeah.
but like. I like it, because when we spoke about it before, obviously the idea of it, when we were talking about it as a photo shoot, would be like me in Yang's outfit, so that it was still obvious that it was supposed to be like Neo, because then it would be like my face, but in Yang.
Yeah, and as we
Kind of thing.
discussed, for some reason, when you briefly tried someone's Yang cosplay, you just looked like Neo in disguise. And
I
don't
just
know
looked
how
like
that
Neo in
was.
disguise. So, like, I recently refound that, and I think it was because the wig was similar in style. That particular Yang wig was similar in style to my Neo wig, and I think that's why,
Okay.
because it was kind of like flat with the same parting. Well, obviously on this side, because Neo's parting is there, so I think that's why it looked like Neo disguised as Yang. But that's where the prophecy started, and then I saw some art, and I was just like, yep, here we go.
I also believe that, like, now is, like, if Neo did try and disguise herself as Yang, that, like, I don't think Blake would fall for it, because the body language is too different.
Yeah.
Like, you can fall for it for a second if you're caught off guard, but, like...
Well, especially if she saw Illusion Yang from, like, the back.
Yeah.
She would be like, oh my god, it's Yang.
But,
But then
like,
the minute
yeah.
she turns around, it will be obvious.
Yeah. Because Neo is good, but she's not that good if someone knows someone really well. It's a little bit harder. Do you think?
Do you think Ruby will show how Cinder meets Salem? Also, do you think we will see her birth parents' last attempt at Cinder redemption? So, obviously,
You can't see her face.
I
because of
love
the angle.
Cinder,
She's
but
too high up.
I think the opportunity for a Cinder redemption is fucking dead. And that is from someone who, like, absolutely loves Cinder, but the point I'm trying to make is I love Cinder as a villain. So I don't feel like she needs to be redeemed. Some villains can just be bad.
Yeah.
And we've had her kind of, like, origin story. I don't think we're going to see her parents for confirmation of how things went with that.
No, because they left her at an orphanage, essentially, didn't they?
Yeah, so there's potential that her parents died, or they just didn't
Yeah.
want her. Anything could have happened. She could have had a family that loved her, and in, like, the village that she lived in, or the city, like, killed.
The Cinder Tay shot. Because it's just the
It's
tip.
her shoulder.
Is it?
This is her shoulder.
Oh, yeah. You'll need to, like, lower them now that you know kind of where it's going to sit.
I know. Maybe I'll just do that now.
No! It is not the time to redecorate.
It's okay. I can do it quickly.
You know what's weird about Cinder is I feel like even if she knew what happened to her parents and she found out like they actually cared about her and want to know what happened, I think she would actually be jaded by that too, because she'd be like, well, what kind of fucking luck like did I have in the world that you never found me kind of thing anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
And I had to do it all on my own. Oh, well done. Well done. See, she doesn't want to go down. She wanted that view.
Yeah, she wanted to be... She's like a small dog. She has to be taller.
She straight up doesn't want to stay.
I'm so
I
fucking
told you
mad.
not to redecorate, and this is the consequences. That's not gonna stay.
Oh look, the consequences of my actions.
Yeah. And then she
Hopefully
turned
they'll
into
stay.
Penny.
And then she turned into Penny, which I saw someone point out.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I could remember who, but again, as we go along, my fucking memory is shocking. But someone on Twitter pointed out that because Neo, I know, because Ruby saw Neo turn into Penny,
Mm-hmm.
if Penny's dead body falls through, she won't believe that it is Penny because she'll think it's Neo trying to fuck with her.
That's pretty gross.
Yeah.
But I can understand that. Ew. I hate that as a theory, but also I'm kind of here for it. I don't know if they would do something like that though.
Mhm.
Because that just feels like not a disservice to Penny, because it could still happen. It just feels unnecessary.
Yeah.
I guess like for shock value maybe. I don't know. I kind of hope that they don't actually. And
Yeah.
thinking about it.
No, I know that Neo changed back before they fell through, but that's not to say that Neo can't just change. She can change at will. So
She didn't just like fall. Like, the best part about it is that when Neo and Ruby eventually separate after. Oh no, 2-6. Oh, there we go. Yeah, this was brutal actually. Before I get to that, the fact that Neo eventually like sort of backpacked Ruby to choke her out.
she like turned her around so that she could like.
Yeah, that was particularly brutal. Out of all the things she did, like she was just like, I am going to kill you before we get to whoever is going to kill us next.
Yeah. I feel like Neo can change her height because when she turned into Ruby, though they are very close in height, she did get taller.
Yeah, when she changed into Ruby, she was just a little bit taller, yeah.
She was just a little bit taller. And
Yeah.
I would imagine
And
that
when she changed into Nora too, she was Nora's height.
Was she Nora's height?
Yeah,
They're
Nora's...
very close in heights as well, though.
No, Neo's tiny. Nora's
She
a bit
is
taller
tiny,
than Nora.
but she wears heels, which makes her
She's
kind
still
of similar.
very small.
She's very small.
Yeah, I don't think she is. I'm pretty sure she was the right height for the all small. Short stack Yang. Can you imagine Yang at Neo's height?
No.
Just be like...
She would just be like...
Yeah. Yeah. Also, yeah, definitely, like, much as there wasn't a whole lot of, like, dialogue in this, like, all the noises and distress of Ruby came across really strongly, which is not easy to do when you actually don't have dialogue to do it with.
Yeah.
So props to Lindsay for that. Oh, are you on the chat?
Yeah, that's
Oh.
why I can tell you what's happening. I'm literally watching our
No,
live
I
stream.
just meant, like, are you moderating?
Yeah, I am.
I was like, who the heck just did that?
Me. Bish. I'm a moderator.
Okay.
I'm
Congrats.
moderating.
And then before we get to this, the fact that Neo like eventually turns back and like separates, and then she just kind of was like floating down like this.
Yeah, it's the fact that she seemed to stay in place
Yeah.
to watch her go.
Yeah. You know, though, I think that's probably a benefit by the fact that she's quite used to floating off of things.
Yeah, probably.
So she's like, I don't have a parasol, but I am just floating.
Cinder kicked the parasol off.
She did, yeah.
She did, yeah.
Maybe she'll find it floating.
Maybe. Although, so what we pointed out when we watched it, you were like, is Ruby's scythe going to be there? Because obviously that was the closing.
Well, that's what I was going to talk about.
Yeah.
And then we obviously get Ruby, like, is on the same beach that we saw at the end of Volume 9. This is the first person we've actually seen on the beach in, like, any footage, because before it was just an empty shot with Crescent Rose. And we hear, like, I think it's Penny.
I think it's Penny, but you also pointed out that it kind of sounded
It
a
kind
little
of
bit
sounds
like
Yang,
Yang
but
towards
that
the
doesn't
end.
really make sense.
No, so I'm not entirely sure. I think
Yeah.
it's most likely Penny. Penny is the last person that shouted Ruby's name, I think.
Yeah.
So, like, that might just be stuck in her head rather than her actually hearing it echoing off the island.
Yeah, because I imagine when you wake up, it's like you're on the ground, you're just like, it's like almost waking up from a dream, and then you just hear echoes of whatever was in your head, which would make sense to be that.
But obviously, we might never know. We might know, but
Neo did like an angry damn kind of pose when the scene ended.
she did.
She did.
Yeah.
She was like, that was my meal.
It was real close to the, like, you had to do it to him. I mean, I feel like everyone's going to think differently about who it potentially was. I don't know that we'll ever know.
Yeah, Blake also used her name, but it sounded like Penny to me.
Yeah.
I don't think it's significant. It was just like a little interesting choice to do that.
Yeah.
Because if that's the case, that everyone kind of is like sort of dazed and hearing things just as they wake up on this island, then like everyone will have heard something, which is crap. Because Weiss would have heard Winter shouting for her.
Yeah.
Which was a real bad shout. And every time I hear that in anything, I just want to die. Actually, I have an AMV I need to show you.
Oh shit, okay.
Yeah, it's really good.
What's the song?
I don't know the song. But it's this editor, I think they're called HJM Edits, that do like video edits for lots of different things, but they've done some really good RWBY ones that I've shown you before.
Yeah.
But I have not yet shown you the one they did for Volume 8, which is like
exquisite.
But as soon as I heard the Winter Screaming Weiss thing, and I was like, oh, flashbacks to like 3 months ago.
Yeah, I hate that. It's so, yeah.
But yeah, so RWBY confirmed to be in the same place that we saw at the end of the volume, which presumably means everybody's that fell is probably in the same place.
Yep, but her scythe wasn't there.
HDM, yeah, it was HDM. Couldn't remember for sure, but that's cool. And then we get confirmation that the funky island has 2 suns. Which, you know, Sam would be really happy about on top of the screenshot. He's just like, yeah, 2 suns,
He's
bro.
like 3 suns.
Whoa, he foreshadowed it. He's got 2 fingers up, bro. He foreshadowed the 2 suns.
Oh my god.
Like
I can't believe that Sun in our live streams predicted that there would be 2 suns.
You know what my reaction to that is?
Oh, Christ almighty, okay.
I love that there's a slight delay so you can actually see it.
Fuck.
Oh wait, there we go. There's 2 suns in the sky! Okay, I shall remove her.
I hate this.
She always lives rent-free.
Yeah. She's one of those ones that I'm always like so thankful that it exists because it's so funny, but at the same time I'm like, get that the fuck out.
I mean, I don't think you guys are ready for the streams, like, because this is, we obviously have many months before the volume, but, like, I'm planning to get a stupid soundboard, so there could be some wacky things going on.
Like, anyone who remembers from our, like, early live streams will remember the nut button that we used to activate when we would kick dickheads out.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be that kind of level of soundboard. So that's exciting. Yeah, I don't know what significance that having 2 suns has, other than just showing us that it's like somewhere that's not Remnant, for sure. We knew that anyway because it was too funky.
Yeah.
But now that's like completely confirmed it, is that it's somewhere else. Although it looks really hot.
It does.
Like, I don't know if those suns are like the same heat, or if it's like, maybe they're a little bit chiller.
Well, RWBY picked up her cape, and I don't know if she was just, like, dusting off, like, sand or something, or
I think so.
She was, like, pulling it. Oh, Jessie!
Oh, hey. It's okay to be late. We still have a little bit.
And it's okay that you can't stay too. I still love you.
Likely at a different planet.
Or maybe just a rift.
The 2 suns in the sky are where the brothers crashed out of the world to the normal one when they went to make Remnant. Maybe. But it looks very much like suns, so I don't really know how that would work. And the same sort of function as the moon getting torn to bits.
Was RWBY in the water? I mean, maybe she was, but, like, I've only watched it twice, so.
I don't think so. I think she was on the sand. But then maybe she could have been a little bit in the water, though.
She might have been.
But then that would be a question of drowning, surely. Because it's water. Like, I think.
I mean, I guess it depends on how close she was to the shoreline. Because it might have been enough to, like, come in, but not enough to, like, waves.
Can you imagine, like, the sound that she would have made when she landed? Like, like the wind coming out of you.
I know that you did that because Jorah made that sound. And you knew I would associate it back. I hate that so.
Such a funny noise, though.
Was it because when did he do it? Were we out on a walk with him? Is that why?
Yep.
And he like jumped down to something
And
lower.
winded himself on like hard sand.
And he was just like,
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, sorry. I knew that would make you laugh. Yeah, I don't know what this means for the climate of this funky, funky island.
I know. It super looks like it's roasting.
Roasting, that's a good Scottish word.
Roasting.
She makes the fall damage sound from Minecraft.
Is that the... Ooh! Is that one? Yeah.
And then we obviously get another view of the, what are we calling it, the world tree?
The Animal Kingdom tree.
The Animal Kingdom tree. But it's the same, it looks like it's from the same angle.
It's definitely the same angle that we saw in the like clip at the end of Volume 8. Sans Scythe.
Yeah. Man, there's just like random arguments in the chat actually that I've just noticed because they happen so like infrequently that I'm looking, I'm like, oh, okay.
Huh?
It's not like anything severe.
Okay. Also, Dan agree that it looks like it should be out of Kingdom Hearts.
It does. But yeah, the world tree. What I find like kind of interesting about this, and I think it's a little tease, is that everyone kind of landed maybe at the same place but at different times. Is the fact that in the end of Volume 9 we see Crescent Roses there, which we knew fell kind of like halfway through the battle. Quite a while before Ruby actually fell.
Yeah,
and
Yang
that was
fell,
lodged in the ground.
Yeah, Yang fell, and then it was Crescent Rose.
Yeah. And then, obviously, like, in this shot where Ruby is, because it's presumably still the same scene, it's not there anymore. So someone's picked it up.
Someone's picked it up.
Yeah. Because it was wedged. It wouldn't have got washed out into the sea. It was wedged in the ground.
Which means to me that it couldn't have been... It couldn't have been anyone but Yang that could have taken it out.
Maybe?
Because
many weapons fell.
No, I know, but it was only Ruby's that was sitting upright.
Yeah.
But everyone else fell either with Ruby or after.
Mm-hmm.
So...
It wouldn't be Blake.
But I don't think it would be Blake.
No.
Neo wouldn't take the weapon.
No, probably... I was going to say too heavy for her, but then, like, Ruby's not exactly...
I mean, she can compact it down, but I don't think that Neo would actively take the weapon away. Because if she was going to take the weapon away... She fell after Ruby, so Ruby would have been on the beach. So she would have just stabbed her instead of taking her weapon away. Which makes me think the only person that could have taken it away is Yang if it was actually there and not just like a teaser. Yeah, and also it could be someone that's on the island that's not any of the characters. Like it could just have been
be
someone
some
completely
random local that's like...
That was like, wow, a scythe, a parasol... And this funky little thing that's got a gun.
Yeah. It accidentally shoots it up.
Wouldn't be hard.
Yeah. Well, if you don't...
Everything has a gun in it.
Yeah, it's like, oh, this is a cool katana.
Yeah, I was going to say everyone's weapon has a gun, but I actually don't think Neo's has a gun in it. It's just a knife. Right?
Pretty sure, yeah. There's no gun part.
Yeah.
And I can't see even where it would shoot from on that. Like... Roman's obviously had the aiming bit at the bottom of the cane.
The top of
and it also
the
makes sense for
parasol...
Neo because she is a close combat fighter that she wouldn't rely on range.
A gun, yeah.
She relies on the parasol to deflect and shield and then like stabby stab.
Well, yeah, because the kind of point at the top of the parasol, the little wooden part, has a blade that comes out of there, and then she can detach a blade from the handle.
Yeah.
So
it's all about the stabbing with Neo.
I don't think she has a gun.
It just doesn't fit her like character either. She's the up close and personal type. She likes fighting close combat.
Yeah,
sure.
she likes getting blood on her.
Confirmed.
I know I'm right. I don't need anyone to confirm it for me. I know I'm right.
I will be taking no comments at this time.
Yeah, I'll be taking no criticism on this. I know I'm right.
Yeah, but that certainly is cool in that we know that someone picked up Crescent Rose now. We just don't know who.
We just don't know who. And it really could have been anyone.
Yeah, I feel like Gam will be a lot harder to find because it wouldn't have wedged so nicely. It's probably buried in sand or it's in a tree.
Yeah.
It's not going to be like,
also,
oh.
yeah, maybe we'll see in Roman Holiday, which was also announced properly. Properly? I don't know what the hell just happened
What?
with my voice. Properly.
Is it because you had to say something properly that you decided to try and say it in like proper English?
Yes,
Is that what happened there?
No. I don't know why I latched onto that accent, just happened. But maybe we'll see in that book why Neo is just blades, no gun.
Well, I've got that. That is a subject of talking.
Yes,
for the
we'll
stream.
get onto that.
It's like
then.
the last thing
I will
have.
hold this discussion.
But if there's, I think that's all the screen grabs. So if there is anything from the teaser that you particularly want us to talk about before we do talk about the Neo-Roman book, because I know that you probably have quite a lot to say about that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, also, I know the chat's not like super fast, but just as a notice, because always there are super chats on. Obviously, it's more important when the chat's going really quickly, but if there is a question that you're dying to ask us and you're scared that we might miss it, super chats are on, so you can go for that.
You've heard of gun, but have you heard of Brawly Bolt? Remember the gun? The gun? Because it was like 3 guns.
No.
The triple threat.
What pair do you think is going to meet up first? I would really like for it to be Blake and Ruby or Blake and Weiss.
Yeah,
to meet up first.
That would be cute.
I would like either of those two to meet up first.
Yeah, because I think they're gonna tease out the Blake Yang reunion for a little bit.
Yeah.
Because the payoff, they won't want that to happen too quickly. They won't. I don't think they'll leave it for ages, but it's not something that's gonna happen in episode 1 or 2 probably.
Probably not.
And it certainly won't be the first people that meet up.
No, I don't think it's gonna be a very quick.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna be like. Everybody meets up in the first episode. I think we'll maybe see some people pairing up. But I don't think we'll see everybody meeting each other.
I think the other than obviously Neo with anyone, but she's probably not going to pair with anyone for a while.
No, absolutely not.
But I think that the potential pairing of Ruby and John could be quite interesting because of what happened with Penny and the fact that there is that bit of information that she doesn't know that he knows, that he was so integral in doing. Like, that is an interesting little conflict to have there, because he'll want to tell her, but he won't know how to tell her.
Yeah, and then it's that, like, awkward kind of, Ruby's like, I hope Penny's okay, and John knows that she's not okay, but doesn't know how to say why he knows that she's not okay.
Alistair, you are officially cancelled for putting that in our chat. Cancelled.
I thought yours was as bad as it was gonna get.
Yeah.
And then suddenly everyone was fruit.
Yeah, and then suddenly. Yeah, the fruit wars were bad.
Yeah. So.
Could Neo take Jean hostage? Probably could. He doesn't have his. Does he have his shield? He doesn't have his sword got snapped.
I think he has his shield because it can go down into.
Little baby shield.
Yeah. It can go down into just a sword holster, and I think that was on his arm.
Yeah, I think so.
So
I need to watch that back.
I think, yeah.
Yang Tiki Bar. I mean, part of me does kind of want that, where it's just like, if there is like a time difference down in this place when you get there, so that it's actually maybe a few days have passed between people.
Yeah.
That Yang is like, just like fully surviving the island. She's got her Tiki Bar. She's her
like drinking the coconut water.
Yeah.
And they're haggard. Yeah. And they look awful, and they just like they find each other, and then they like pull apart some like bamboo.
Yeah.
And they just look, and they're like, "Am I hallucinating?" And it's just Yang with like a fucking Hawaiian t-shirt with her like sunglasses, drinking from a coconut, and then she looks over and she's like, "Hey guys, wanna come drink from my bar?" And they're like, "Bar?"
Yeah.
She's like, "Yeah, I can make you a strawberry sunrise."
Yep.
Little umbrella.
Yeah, she made the umbrellas by hand.
Yeah. She handcrafted them, and they're like, "Oh, she's lost her fucking mind."
Yeah, basically. They're all just looking at each other like, "Oh, when did she snap? How long has it been?"
Yeah.
I love the chat about like the character designs, because presumably they're not going to keep all of their Atlas gear on. Like, the outfits were all made in a way that like clearly they were meant to be able to take parts off of it. Like, the models all had that built in,
and also they were made to be in a cold climate. They are now somewhere that has 2 suns. So it's definitely going to be too hot.
Yeah. But I'm excited to see like a just change, and I wonder if they will change the character model slightly too, now that they're a wee bit more experienced with doing characters like Elm and Clover and whatnot with like muscle.
Yeah, everyone's obviously desperate to see Yang with abs, but we've had this conversation where actually it would be kind of nice just to see her without the bomber, with arm muscles, and like unzipping the thigh parts of the dungas.
Yeah, we said dungas. I hate us. We both said dungas.
90s kids. Do you have pictures of you when you're younger in dungarees? Because I have pictures of me when I was like 2 in dungarees.
Probably, but I don't remember.
My mum dressed me in dungarees. She still has the dungarees she put me in. So
cool story.
Yeah. Just to really show that 90s kid.
Yeah. I'm excited for a beach episode, but it's not the beach episode like we were prepared for or expected. That's the weird thing.
Although Shadows Burn said that Kerry did say some of the funniest moments are in Volume 9.
Yeah, so the things that we don't know, talking about things we do know about Volume 9, is we don't know when it's going to air. They didn't confirm that, which they usually do at RTX, which I'm fine with.
Which is fine, and they might confirm it at the end of the month at their other panel when they release the other trailer. They might then have the date at the end of it, so...
Yeah, and I can wait to know the date. You don't need to know the date that badly, like... Yeah. We can wait a little bit longer to know that. And, yeah, there's obviously lots of factors that go into producing a volume, and I'd rather it was as good as humanly possible.
Man, I can't believe Zwei is a Gen Zer.
Wow. All these Gen Zers in the chat making us feel
It
old.
Sometimes like really wilds me out that there are like Gen Zers that watch us, because it's just 2 millennial kids just trying to find their way through the internet.
Yeah, have yet to do so.
Yeah.
But we don't have a date. We don't know how many episodes it's going to be.
We don't know if they're going to take a break the same way that they did. Obviously, that was forced.
I think they will.
But I think it did them good, just to have like a little bit of a break, from the crazy zone that is.
Yeah.
You know, just airing, because it is intense.
And then also we obviously don't have the Volume 8 soundtrack out, which we usually would have by now, so like that's still going to come too.
That's right.
So yeah, not actually that fussed about not getting a date yet. Fine to wait. Actually I liked something on the old Tumblrs.
I'm loving that everyone is like posting in what their birth year is now. This is absolutely hilarious to me. I have one question though for the Gen Zers that are in the chat, and why do you guys hate skinny jeans so much? Because that's like a personal attack to me. That you guys don't like skinny jeans. Every time I see Gen Zers out, they have like bell bottoms or like straight cuts or mom jeans or like something. Flares. Oh. Never do I see a skinny jean.
Yeah, this is what it was. You know Aaron that did the reactions, Tons of Damage, that's now an animator, which is still so cool.
Yeah.
Like they tweeted after the teaser came out, that we're obviously not ready, which, but said that they cried while reading scripts and cried even harder watching animatics. This volume has my favourite episode of RWBY and is quite possibly my favourite volume. It is such an important and meaningful volume that will touch so many people I cannot wait for all to see.
Oh God, Aaron.
Yeah. So when I read that I was like, ugh.
Babe, love you. I'm stressed.
Yeah, because that's a fan obviously for a long time, so like if it's their favourite thing, then that's big yikes.
People think skinny jeans aren't comfortable and that they don't have real pockets.
I mean, it's true.
Your back pocket is the main pocket.
That's such a bad pocket because things fall out of that, though.
No, they don't if they're tight enough.
Oh, yeah, just cut off your circulation and have, like, dent marks in your hips.
You literally... My skinny jeans are always so tight that they are, like, cutting off my circulation, basically.
You don't wear skinny jeans anymore anyway.
That's because I don't fit in any of them, babe. I got fat over pandemic.
Over the pandemic. Isn't that such a weird thing to be able to say?
I know.
But yeah, that got me pretty hyped when I read that. I was like, oh no.
Yeah. Are you serious? My back pocket fits my whole ass phone.
Everybody's
I'm absolutely shocked at this information.
also, this was on Tumblr and it made me laugh, and I just thought it was a hilarious response.
Oh, right, okay.
So I just want you to read this. I just thought it was so funny. It was such a good reply. I just liked that she had that like saved in her gallery. So yeah, that
She either had this saved or she knew exactly that this is what she wanted to do.
yeah. So I just wanted you to see that because it made me laugh, and I was like, that will make you laugh.
This is so absolutely funny. I love this so much.
Yeah. Like, what did they expect a reply to be like?
I know.
Yeah, it's been garbage.
So this is like something that I will always wonder.
Yeah.
And I will never understand. Like, even if I ask the question and I got a serious answer, I'll still be like, why? But, like, if you hate something so much,
Yeah.
why do you care to continue watching and to comment on it, you know? Like...
I just try not to give into, like, the energy particularly anymore,
No,
because I just want to
exactly.
enjoy it.
Like,
It's hard, obviously, when we're, like, on a public platform, but...
No, of course. Like, it's easy to get kind of dragged into that. But, like,
yeah.
the thing that it always, like, comes back to is obviously we watched Game of Thrones. Our reaction is probably still out there somewhere on Patreon. No, did you take it down?
Can I blink and it'd be at least October already? Maybe if you blink like really hard to the point that you put yourself into like a coma, you might be able to do that.
Please, I would fucking love to do that.
I don't recommend.
Oh no, I recommend. I would love to go into a coma right now. Just to like pass the time, you know, stop me eating like garbage just all the time. Like eating fast food. Don't need to worry about that, just put me in a coma. Then let me wake up.
Yeah.
Anyway, what I was saying was, like, obviously we watched the finale of Game of Thrones and we didn't particularly enjoy it, but we're then not gonna sit and, like, keyboard warrior it and be like, Game of Thrones sucks! That ending was terrible for me! Some people enjoyed it.
It was, but, like, yeah, I just don't see the point in, like, haunting things. Like, if you're not happy, like, it's done.
Yeah, like...
Or just move on.
Yeah. Like, I did not enjoy the finale, especially of Game of Thrones, but I thought the last season was just kind of weak anyway.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that I can't then go back and rewatch the episodes and the seasons that I did absolutely adore. So for the people that just seem to have some sort of weird hate boner over RWBY and they're like, oh, remember the good times? Like, go rewatch Volume 1 if that's what you loved so much. Just, no one's stopping you. Just go and enjoy it the way it was.
Yeah.
And stop talking about it. No one cares.
I have more of a problem, like, do it in your, like, own space, but, like, why are you coming onto other people's stuff as well? Like,
yeah.
Like, it's gonna change anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Other than just be like, have the person be like, oh, okay, go away.
Yeah, like, why do you need to come in and, like, shit on it, you know? Like, if you really hate something so much, why would you then look at someone who's like, oh my god, this means so much to me, I'm so happy that they did this, and be like, oh, gross, you're not allowed to like this because I don't like it. And it's like, okay, well, the world would be really fucking boring if we all enjoyed the same thing, wouldn't it? So I'm gonna enjoy my thing, you can go and enjoy whatever the fuck you enjoy in your own free time that doesn't involve me.
Yeah. Wow, go off.
Is
this the corner energy?
Potentially, but also it's like a live stream thing. I don't know. There's always just something that sets me off, and then it just is impossible to drag
and I'm like
me back
further
in.
away now that I can't like prevent you. I can just watch. All I can do is watch.
It's okay. Like if I ever go too far, or you're like, this is going on too long, you can just be like, okay, and I'll be like, all right.
So, moving on.
Yes.
We have the confirmation that was leaked earlier, like 2 weeks ago. That it was about 2 weeks ago that. The next big book for the RWBY franchise is...
It 2 weeks ago? It felt like it was like...
I mean, it might be longer. It doesn't matter. Anyway. The Roman holiday book. Which is a fun little reference. Someone
made a joke earlier that I purposefully remembered to tell you, but I can't remember who said it. So, take your claim. That Jeff Bezos is going to be the final villain for RWBY to fight because he leaked... Well... His company leaked that this was coming out. And I just thought that was really, really funny.
Yeah. Shouldn't have let him back from space, man.
No.
This was his fault.
Yep.
Yeah. So, but I mean, we know now, like, it was pretty obvious it was not a fake thing.
No. It had an official link, and if it was a fake thing, Rooster Teeth would have had it torn down so fast.
Yeah. So there's a few things you can pull from this, other than, like, obviously the obvious, which is that there's the symbol for Vale, beacon, in the background. This looks like a fairly affluent place wherever they are.
Well, it's very lavish in some way. You've got like a plant, you've got like a really plush antique decorative chair.
Yeah. And then the family portrait in the background, which it kind of looks like Neil, but it doesn't. It's hard to tell.
It kind of looks like her. The parting's on the wrong side, which means absolutely nothing. You know, people can change their partings, but it is on the wrong side, so it could potentially not be her. This could just be someone's house that they're ransacking. We don't know. But
yeah.
It could also be her. This could be how they met.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell.
Yeah, it is, and I kind of like that like, it teases potential that that's, like, her family, but then also doesn't fit into it because we know from the song that Neil had in the Volume 6 soundtrack
Yes.
that she was basically, like, on her own until she found Roman, and not in a good way. So, yeah, it could be that they're just ransacking somewhere, because that seems like their vibe.
That seems like, yeah. Roman always struck me as just some sort of kind of petty thief, actually, not like, I'm a murderer with a huge gang and I'm gonna come in and murder your whole family. He was mostly like, to me anyway, like, in his starting off was like a pickpocketer. He would go and rob shops, like, would maybe hold someone at gunpoint but not actually pull the trigger, you know?
Yeah. I think one of the purposes for this, other than the fact that it's been really wanted by the fandom for a long time, because they're both really popular characters, is that the volume potentially will be quite relevant to the content in this book for Neo, and it might help to explain certain things a little bit better, or at least expand on certain things a little bit better.
Yeah, well, it's the same way that obviously they felt like they had to put Cinder's backstory in this volume.
Yes, Jorah, Jesus Christ.
No one would have heard him snore.
Yeah,
it was so loud. Yeah, like, they obviously made the executive decision that this volume that we just had was when we needed to have Cinder's backstory because it was relevant to the area.
Yeah.
Which brought up, clearly, a lot of trauma for her that she kind of had to deal with in that situation. So it would make sense for them to release a book specifically about their backstory so that it's, you know, easier to consume instead of taking up like a whole episode to explain their backstory.
It's better too, because it means you're going to get more stuff out of it than
exactly
you would if it was animated.
An episode or two.
And also it makes me think of our Neo CMV and be like, it can make that feel worse, since they're going to build up that relationship that Roman and Neo had. So what kind of, like, things are you wanting from it? Because you're obviously, like, a huge...
Oh, I'm huge
Neo
on this.
Roman stan for a long time.
I mean, I think I'll start off with the one thing that I really don't want from it. And
Would you say that there was one thing?
I don't...
Okay, continue.
Personally, for me, I've always seen Roman and Neo as a kind of sibling-ish relationship.
You went so quiet there.
And I think this might be kind of controversial for some people, so that's why I'm like...
controversial.
But, like, I've always seen Roman and Neo as, like, a kind of sibling, or, like, I take care of you, you take care of me.
Yeah.
And there are people that see them romantically, and that's okay. I'm never going to be like, you can't ship that. I just don't want it to be that they were romantically together.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that I don't want out of the book. I won't hate it if that is what happens. It's just not what I'm looking for out of it.
Yeah. But you're not, you wouldn't be like, oh, I can't
like
these characters now.
Oh, I hate this. I hate Roman and Neo. Put it in the bin. It's just, I just prefer them as friends.
Yeah, partners in crime.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I love the kind of, that kind of villain relationship together, where it's just like, here we are, just two bad guys doing bad guy things.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I love that. So.
Tall brother, tiny sister.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I want from it, aside from the obvious of like what their backstory is, like where did Roman come from? What was his initial like, this is why I want to go into crime.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, how did he find Neo? In what state was Neo in? Why is Neo mute? Like, those kind of things. Obviously, they maybe don't need to go fully into detail about, like, exactly why Neo is mute. Maybe it's just a trauma thing that happens, you know? But just a little
nugget.
Just a little, like, she's never talked. I don't know if she can. Or, like, she doesn't have a tongue. That's why she doesn't talk. Like, you know, just...
Imagine she doesn't have a tongue.
Happens. So, but
pretty mad if she didn't.
Yeah. So we'll see. But I would love to read about the kind of crimes that they did together, because obviously we've talked about like how Neo is such a close range fighter.
Yeah.
It's obvious that she has a preference for knives over guns, and I wonder if there's a reason, you know, in the same way that like Batman would never use a gun.
I just wonder if it's a kind of rags to riches story, like maybe, like as you were saying, that Roman actually did start off very, very petty crime because that's all that he could do at that point, and like they sort of raised their way up society together, which would be cool.
Yeah, I would love that. I would love for Roman to have just been this scrappy kid that like grew up in like an orphanage or like a poor family, you know, and he was like, I'm more than this, I'm better than all of you, and they were like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And that like Roman isn't even his name. You know?
It's just a name he took.
He just took that.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah.
I mean, because he gave Neo's name.
Yeah,
so
So
it wouldn't be that weird that he would name himself.
Yeah.
But I'm like really like, I think everyone's like enjoyed, well, for the most part, everyone's enjoyed the books that came out, but this is definitely the one I'm most excited for. Yeah.
I know, like, and I'm not saying this because I don't like the books. I haven't read them. And that's because I just haven't had the time to the time.
You're also not like a huge book reader, to be fair.
I am, actually.
Okay.
But, I haven't had the time to read after the fall. Or the second one? Before the Dawn. But I also haven't...
What was it that they said in the RTX panel last year? Or was it the year before that? Before the Dom?
Before the Dom.
Because, like, either Barbara or Aaron completely misheard it and we're just like, the Dom?
The Dom? Yeah. It must have been 2 years ago because it was in person.
Yeah. We must have been at that.
We probably were.
God, I don't remember it being in person or
Brill out here.
Oh.
So, I haven't had the time, but if I really want to read a book, I will make time.
Also, you should probably just get the audiobook. Like,
no, they don't work for me.
Okay.
I will make the time for a book that I want to read. This, I will probably read in about a week flat. Probably
like
closer,
your
but
fake
like...
gal content.
Yeah. Like, every single waking moment that you find me, that I'm not either helping you cooking dinner or doing my work, I will probably be nose deep in that book. So.
Ass deep.
Balls deep.
Oh dear. Maybe not.
Yeah.
That's a really awkward way to describe that, isn't it? Really awkward.
Well, you had to say it was ass deep. I had to one up you somehow.
That's true.
The way I could do that is with balls. So.
Oh yes, famously, one is higher than the other in the pecking order.
Obviously.
Sorry. I think that's kind of it we actually have for...
What are you wanting out the book?
You
didn't say anything about what you wanted, but let me move my microphone so it doesn't make a noise. Okay.
I want some sexy crimes. No, actually not fast. I just want the backstory. Like,
is there anything you don't want out of the book then?
Not really. I would kind of like a confirmation of Neo's age, because she's so small.
I would really love a confirmation of Neo's age. Yes.
Just so I know
even
whether
if it was
I can
just like
or not.
Yeah, even if it's just like Roman meets her, obviously names her because she doesn't have a name.
Yeah.
But is then like, you know, she looked like she was maybe 8 or 9 in size. Kind of situation, and then it's like, and over the next 10, 15 years, this is what they did together, you know, like...
Yeah, I would definitely like an age confirmation. I think that's just kind of helpful in understanding characters and timelines a little bit.
I think we know that Roman is late 20s, early 30s.
I don't know if we ever had that
from
confirmed.
the, like, from about volume 2.
Don't know. I just would it's just a good point. There's a good point in a book to establish that.
Well, it's one of those things, like, we have the confirmation of, like, Team Ruby, Team Juniper, because we know, like, what age it is that they join, and Ruby was younger than everyone else when she joined. So, like, for the kids, fine, you know, we're gonna get that. But obviously everyone else is so much harder because there's no natural point where it can be like, oh, by the way, Ozpin, how old are you? You know, like, there's no natural way.
I'm old as fuck, boy.
So
I'm really old.
I would
than
love,
you believe.
I would love a confirmation like that. And like we said, you know, it's easier to do that in a book because you've got more time and there's no awkward way of, like, trying to fix the conversation to ask.
Yeah.
So...
But yeah, I think other than that, like, that's kind of the main things we want to talk about. But if you guys have anything RWBY related,
also is why I'd, like, agree, like, because of her size, people always think, like, oh, she's definitely, like, a minor. I think she's just really small.
Yeah, I think she is just really small. But I would like the confirmation.
Yeah, but, like, I also don't want to be like, well, she's just a small adult. She's clearly, like, at least 20.
She's
and then they're like,
55.
she's 15. I'm like, okay, I was wrong.
How to... yeah, I should imagine if she was, like, that young. I don't think so, though. She seems too, like, experienced.
Yeah.
To be that young. She's probably still in her 20s, but I don't think she's that young.
Although what I would find really interesting is, like, obviously Roman gave her a name.
In her 90s. That's why her and Maria, like, they were able to
they were, like, duking it out, man.
And, like, their bus passes fell out. It's like, ah!
It's like, no, you can't know that I'm over 65. But what I would really want to know, actually, now that I've just, like, thought about it a little bit more, obviously Neo is very acrobatic.
I thought you were going to say, like, agoraphobic for a second.
Obviously, she's agoraphobic. No,
she's
like,
arachnophobic.
That's me.
Oh, yeah. You're Neo. So, you know.
But obviously she's, she moves the way that, like, a gymnast or, like, a dancer would maybe move. So, like, I would love to know, like...
Dance background.
Did she have a dance background? Did she have a good life and then something happened? And then it, like, completely jaded her? Like...
DDR, like, champion in Mistral.
I was thinking more like ballet, but alright.
Probably more like ballet, yeah.
I'm thinking that she either has a background in ballet or being a gymnast. You know? One of those two. And I might be completely wrong.
It's
Maybe
the
she's
legs,
just flexible.
They're too flexible.
She just goes down into a split and back up with way too much ease for someone who's not
that
has
has
a background
bones.
in something like that.
For someone that has bones.
Yeah. Like, obviously you can teach yourself to do a split at any age, but if you start when you're younger, it's so much easier.
Yeah.
And you don't really lose it as quickly. And she uses it all the fucking time.
That would be cool. Yeah, a little dancey dance background.
Yeah.
Her parents made her do gymnastics in school and she hated it, so she snapped.
Oh, me. Villain origin story.
Villain origin story?
I had the idea that she was a singer and then lost her voice, but her being a gymnast makes much more sense. I mean, there's a possibility that maybe she was, like, you know, training to be, like, a singer and a dancer kind of thing. Like, those things usually do go hand in hand, so it's not impossible.
Neo's hip goes during the fight. Yes, I'm so glad that someone's now... I was going to point it out, but someone has pointed out that you've been put in a corner, finally.
Yeah.
Like, for reals, you're in a corner.
Yeah, I am for reals in a corner. Here's the corner.
Yeah. Yep, we
Right here.
decided that you were too cursed, so we just had to make you a corner.
Yeah.
But I'm interested to see how the corner develops as we go, like, what items that you might want in your corner.
Yeah. Well, now
Since it's
that
now
I
your
realise that
zone.
we can see the side of our wardrobe,
Mm-hmm.
'cause this is our wardrobe.
Yep.
This is a wall and a wardrobe. Now that I know that we can see the side of this, then I can put art here as well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so we did lose Cursed Corner, but then we like somehow created
it in real life. Our Cursed Corner because it is cursed with me in it.
Yeah, just naturally by your aura.
Also, it's great because it's got like 2 plug points and 2 USB ports here, so like if my phone's ever dying after a reaction, it's all good.
Wow, I can't say we don't treat you well on these live streams.
Absolutely putting on the Ritz for me out here, man.
Yeah. Yeah, well, hopefully as we go we'll get more, because we're still very new in this house and most of our artwork is like in boxes, and then we have different stuff in our actual like background we use for the reactions, because that makes more sense to be sitting together.
Also, because you said more Cinder/Neo posters, I realized that this is the only like official piece of artwork that I have for Cinder, and I don't think I have any art for Neo. I don't think I have one single bit of art for Neo.
That is scumbag behaviour.
Yeah. I have prints of Sheena Duquette.
You could put that up.
No, I can't, because it's got my name on it.
No, you can't.
No, I can't.
Your name's Senny, what are you talking about?
Obviously. But it's not that name that's on it.
Senny.
But yeah.
I love that you like doxed me so early on that I just had to go with my name because you just couldn't stop yourself, and I was just like, it's a lost cause.
You didn't say I wasn't allowed to say your name.
You wouldn't be able to. You don't have that much self-control.
I don't, because I doxed where we lived, if anyone like paid attention to it.
Not really. Vaguely.
Vaguely.
And we also don't live there anymore, so when
No, I know, but like if anyone figured it out.
Yeah.
The Mercury body pillow art is somewhere.
You can have it there, actually. You could have it perfectly against there. That's a good wall for that.
Well, yeah, because the problem with where we had it before was anyone that walked into the room would see it.
Yeah, and it was and we always forgot. And
we always forgot.
That's an interesting bit of art.
No, I'd be like, oh, my friend drew it for me.
Which is true.
It's true. My friend did draw it for me.
I think that's the perfect place for the Mercury body art, actually. Is like right
here.
Right there, so that you can just go like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think we should probably bounce because I don't really have much else to say. And
same, I don't.
But this has been fun and a good like way to integrate us into doing the streams again. This is the first stream that we've done in the new house, and obviously not the same setup as before, but I think it's actually worked pretty well.
Yeah, I think it's worked pretty good. I don't know. I'm feeling like we might need to get a different webcam for you though, because it's weird that one of us is like so HD and then the other is like not.
Well, that's fine. We can.
But we can look at that. So.
Yeah, there is a new character for the Arrowfill game. I don't know
There's
if you saw
like 4 new characters, isn't there?
Yeah. I don't know. It looked okay. Like the actual animatic thing looked cool.
Yeah. The animatic thing looked cool. The gameplay looks cool. It's just that I don't really play games.
I do, but it just doesn't look like my kind of game particularly.
Yeah.
Maybe Grim Eclipse has left me slightly like wanting for RWBY games really at this point. Like it's not the kind of one that I'd want, but then the kind of one I'd want would require way more budget to do. Yeah. So like it's just not gonna happen for a long time if it ever does.
Yeah. Also, we haven't seen the latest Owl House episode, so please no spoilers in the chat.
Yeah, we are actually about to record it right after this, so don't spoil it.
Yeah. Although we have finished Jujutsu Kaisen for anyone around here that cares about that.
Yeah, we just finished that.
And I just want the manga so bad.
But yeah, we should probably bounce. But it's been fun. Thank you for hanging. And I don't know when we'll see you next. Probably the live stream for the RWBY soundtrack, actually, when we do the live reaction.
Or maybe if we get a particularly crazy trailer at the end of the month, maybe we'll do another one then, depending.
Maybe. But it's been nice and it's been good to sort of, I don't know, stretch out our live streaming muscles.
Yeah, especially with a new setup, just to see how well it works.
Yeah.
So
it's always nice to catch up with some of y'all.
Yeah.
In a slightly less chaotic stream than our episode ones, where there's usually so many people that it's so hard to keep track.
Absolutely. Also, Jujutsu Kaisen, 100% worth the watch. Amazing.
Okay.
Please watch it.
Thank you. You're not sponsored.
I'm not sponsored. I wish I was, because then maybe I'd be able to get my hands on
like,
fucking
I want to
manga.
go and watch the Owl House episode.
Anyway, we'll go.
Okay. Let's go before we get spoiled. Thanks,
Love
boys
you
and gals
guys.
and everyone else. Bye.
Love you. Bye.